Hello, today I'm going to give a quick walkthrough, not necessarily a tutorial on how I created the real matrix cipher. So this is the neotranslate.xyz cipher that I've made from scratch. This is Fox Replace, which is how I read everything personally, but this isn't necessarily for everyone's use because it is not my own code completely. The flashing GIFs and everything else inside of it is, but the entire algorithm of NeoTranslate is my own work. Uh, so I'm just going to walk you through what it does real quick. So it makes all the characters that have the same sound flash back and forth. So this character right here being highlighted or being hovered over by my cursor is To in katakana and hiragana. So it does that for most hiragana and katakana characters. For some reason, it doesn't do all of them, but that's a weird problem with Japanese. It does characters in kanji pretty well for Mandarin. You can replace any text with. I'll show you. So I'm gonna just take a random snippet of that Wikipedia, paste it in here, and the word the is going to be replaced with a happy face. The word and is going to be replaced with a frowny face. And I'm going to just grab a quick character. It's irrelevant what it means, but let's do the and for. Let's do for with this Japanese character, and we'll press submit custom replacement, and it's added. For is that character now, and I'll press translate, and now every single instance of the is a smiley face, every single instance of and is a frowny face, and every single instance of for is that Japanese character, which does not flash, but it should be, but it's not important. So I'm just going to grab a larger chunk from a Mandarin page, why not, and just show you that that works before I get into the code. So I'm just going to paste this in, and it's all flashing up top. Anyway, we're going to jump right into the code now. So it is a one file HTML document. The CSS is right here in the styles section. The meta tells the search engines what keywords are relevant. And this is the directions, which gets put directly into the flashing cipher right from the start. So that's this text right here. And you can see that it actually replaces your custom translation, the directions with your custom translation list. I'm doing this all in one take, so excuse the mistakes. So that is the directions being directly translated with your custom translations. The set difficulty is set to 2 automatically, so that makes it so every other iteration of the flash is set back to the original text, and every other iteration is a new mishmash of characters that all have the same sound being flashed with new characters of the same sound. You set the speed in milliseconds, so from the start it's at 500 milliseconds. Then the do functions button, which is the translate button, does the translation when you have text in here. With Chinese, sets it so that it has Chinese, Mandarin, Ruby characters above the English vocabulary list that you are utilizing. So the input and output are these. So input, you put whatever with whatever, and it you press submit custom translation replacement with whatever, and your replacement list is stored between these stars, as you can see. And to copy list, you press copy list, or you can just highlight and copy, and to port it over, you paste the list like so. So it's not copying unfortunately. So you paste list like so, and you press upload, and it replaces whatever is in there with your new list, and that works well. Delete list deletes everything within the stars. I'm going to not do that. So we start this JavaScript off with a bunch of let statements that set a few important variables or lets. And the interesting thing is that the local storage list is stored like a cookie. So when you leave the website and refresh it, all these words stay, and you don't have to keep it somewhere in a third-party application like a notepad or something. And it checks to see if you have a list like that, and if not, it creates a new one. After that's done, we create a character map of all the flashing characters. This is actually kind of a process in itself because it's 10,000 unique characters flashing back and forth that I curated myself from online sources. I'm just going to scroll past all that because it's pretty much just Chinese characters that have unique sounds and they're paired with their homies. So the do functions function is the translate button, which sets string with Ruby to the my text box value, which is this. It sets the use Ruby value to whatever this is set to, the with Chinese box. Then it applies custom word list translation, custom Ruby replacements. It sets the difficulty, sets speed, and then finally flashes all the letters repeatedly so it sticks on this function for the rest of the duration of the use of the program. So the next function is submit replacements. So we have these two boxes. If it's empty, it does nothing, else it looks for what the value is of this box and appends it to the list accordingly. You can upload a file, which I don't actually use in this iteration, so I'm going to skip that. You can replace list by just pasting in there like I showed earlier. You can append to list, which I don't use in this iteration either. You apply custom list translations with this function, which is just a for function that goes through replacement list dot length plus equal 3. I forgot why I do this, but it is all technical, so it's all important. But that's how it works. So it replaces all instances of the first character with the second character, or first word with second word in this instance. This is an unimplemented function. This is another unimplemented function. Delete list, it's pretty straightforward. You press delete list, it gives you this. I'm not going to do that. Difficulty is automatically set to 2. The time between each flash is 500 milliseconds. And then it does functions right when the page loads. So that's how I got the directions to flash on page load. Set difficulty is looked for upon do functions. Set speed is looked for upon do functions. Set font size is straightforward. You just click one of these and it sets the font size. Copy to clipboard, that's this. It should, on desktop, copy the words in between the stars just by clicking that, and then you can paste it into a notepad for future use. So this function I actually had somebody help me with. Oops. So this just makes it so that the UI is more friendly and it puts the flashing words at the top and it doesn't get rid of the rest of the website, so you don't have to press the refresh button every time. These are the English words with Chinese Ruby, so it replaces and or whatever word have you with and the Ruby Chinese above it. I'm going to go past this entire block of words so we can get to the code that is later on. So we look for if Ruby is set to true, that is this button. If it is, it puts the words with Ruby in the translation queue. If not, it skips it. Then we get to the asynchronous function with the flashing translations, which is the actual letters flashing. Print is what actually prints the letters to screen or the text to screen. It looks for the new text and sets it equal to text.replace with regex functionality, and then it scrolls to top each time, and it slowly replaces the characters with this asynchronous function with these three functions running all in tandem. The replace characters is what actually replaces the characters. It sets a temp value to the replacement character in question, so it goes through the string one character at a time, and it replaces character A with character B, and it replaces character A with the next character in the character map, which is the map that I showed you at the beginning with all the characters that have the same sound. If C mod difficulty 0, if C mod difficulty equals 0, it replaces the original. It shows you the original text. If it's not equals 0, it prints out a new iteration of the flashing text. So that being set to 2 makes it so every other iteration enters this part right here and prints the original text. This is just some more timing code, and the rest is just my links to other websites. That's pretty much it. It's super important to read this way, in my opinion, for people who want to learn many characters. I don't know how many of you are out there, but I'm sure there's some. I'm just going to let you see what Fox Replace looks like in real time. So right now, Fox Replace is running in this screen in real time. It's slow, or it's big, so it says it's running slowly. It runs on every website. I want to make Neo Translate basically a shell website for other websites in the future. So essentially, it would be like a VPN for other websites. Oh, this isn't the way. I gotta refresh it. That's annoying. I'm not doing another take, so we're gonna just sit here and wait. Some context, I got into Chinese by just doing flashcards. I got 100 letters in of memory, and I had an epiphany about what if I was just to replace the words in English with the characters I already know on everything I'm already reading. And that's how we got here. That's how I found Fox Replace. And that's how I originally had this idea. And eventually one thing led to another, and I'm like, how can I learn multiple letters for the same thing? And I was like, flashing. And 3D letters are cool too. Take care. I hope you like this video. I hope you try it. I hope you give it a like, subscribe, send me money, send me gift baskets, be my friend. I don't know. Bye.